Hello everyone, welcome back to CSC Core Concepts in my series of machine learning algorithms with implementation in RStudio. In this video, I am going to demonstrate the random forest classifier for in RStudio for a categorical data. That is for a classification problem. As I have told you in my earlier video, that random forest classifier can be used for both classification as well as for regression analysis. So here I am going to demonstrate it for the classification problem. So for the problem, the data which we have selected is the car evaluation data. That is some data related to some cars. That is the cost, okay, the class of the car. There are two classes. One is unacceptable and another is acceptable. Okay, so two classes are there. Now, what makes it unacceptable and what is acceptable? Like, let's say the cost is very high, maintenance is very high, number of doors too, number of people who can accommodate is too, luggage space is small, safety is low, then it is an unacceptable car. Okay. If the cost is very high, maintenance is very high, doors are two, only for two people, it is small, and safety is also medium, then unacceptable. So there are many features. Even if the safety is high, but the cost of the car is very high, where you can see not many people can accommodate, then also it is unacceptable. So these are the features which make them unacceptable. And the second class is acceptable. Let's see, if the cost is very high, then it is a medium. Okay, then number of doors is two. That's okay, but people can sit is four. It is big. Okay, and safety is medium. Then it is acceptable. So these are the features which are maintenance. Okay, these are the features which will determine the category of the car. Right. So first, let us include some of the library files. Let's get started with it. So the library files which we will require here is the random forest. Okay, since we are doing the random forest function, so the library is a random forest. Okay, so random forest we are including, right? And we are going to read our data. So a data frame called my data has been created, which contains 1728 observations of 7 variables. So if I want to see the structure of the data, so I can see the structure of the data, that is cost, it is character, maintenance is character, doors are character, all data type is character. But you can see here it is categorical. If you see, the cost was a categorical value, because cost is either very high, cost is either low. Okay, this way the costs were going, right? So it is categorical. High, very high, low, that way. Then your maintenance, low, very high, medium. So number of people, 5. This way that every data is, every parameter here is categorical. So what we need to do here is that we first need to convert all the parameters into a factor variable, that is categorical variable, right? So first let us get started with the cost. Okay, then the next parameter, which is your maintenance, that has to be converted into factor. So similarly, all data, all the variables have to be converted into categorical here. So let us get started with that. So the second one is maintenance. Then the number of doors, because we have different category of cars, so having 2 doors, 4 doors, etc. Okay, then next one was, let's check out. Next one was the number of people it can accommodate, number of persons. That is an important parameter while buying a car, for how many people can be accommodated. Then comes your luggage space. Okay, that is also one of the important parameter, right? Luggage. Okay, then comes the security, very important, right? Safety, that is security, whatever. So safety is the another parameter. And finally, these all parameters will determine the class of the car, right? So that has to be also converted to categorical type, that is car class. Okay, so car class, right? So all these are going to be converted into a factorial data type and factor data type, sorry, and then I hope I converted all of them. No, I didn't. Okay, so let us now see the structure of the data. So now you can see cost is a factor having 4 levels: high, low, medium and very high. Maintenance also 4 level, doors 4 levels, person, number of people 3 level, luggage 3 levels, safety 3 levels and car class 4 levels of class are there. Okay, good, not good, acceptable, unacceptable, like that. Fine. So this is all about the data processing. Now let us split the data because we have to create our model, right? So let us get started by splitting the data. So we are going to divide it into two samples, which data, my data has to be converted into, it has to be divided into two types, that is training and testing. So how much training and how much testing to be given? Let's say we are giving 70% training and 30% testing. So train data will contain the first part of your my data sample. So split data's first part is your training, including all the columns, and the test data is equals to my data split data, the second sample, right, including all the columns. So let us create the data frames, training and testing. So you can see the test data contains 483 observations and training data contains 1245 observations. So let us create our model, RF model, random forest model. The function which we are going to call is the random forest, and we want to determine the car class depending on all the attributes. Let's say dot. Okay, all the attributes will contribute. So data is equals to our training data, right? And of course we want to see the model, how it is doing. So rf underscore model, right? Let's create the model, and yeah, so this is the summary. So let us see, let us analyze the summary. First of all, it is saying random forest. Type of the random forest is classification. Since random forest can be used for both classification as well as for regression analysis. So now how many trees have been created? If you have not yet, you are not clear about the random forest classifier, I recommend you to go through the theoretical video to understand that. So if you remember, it is an ensemble learning technique where number of trees are being created, and then using a voting classifier, the class is selected, right? So how many trees have been created here? 500 trees have been created, and number of variables which have been tried at each is 2, right? So that is 2 has been tried, 2 variables have been tried at each value split, right? Then comes your OOB estimate. What is OOB means? Out of bag estimate. So error rate is 3.69. So if you are saying error rate is 3.69, this means what is your accuracy? So your accuracy is here, just a minute, yeah. So your error is 1 minus 3.69. Understood? So what is your accuracy here? Accuracy will come here around let's say some 96 point some percentage, right? Approximately 96 percentage. Okay, so that is your accuracy. Fine. Then comes your error is, let's analyze the classes. So you have 4 classes here. One is acceptable. So acceptable, this is the confusion matrix which has been created. I hope you understood, right? So confusion matrix always gives the diagonal values are the correct ones, right? So 274 were acceptable and they are correctly predicted. 31 were actually good and they are correctly predicted. 862 were unacceptable and were correctly predicted, and 32, right? Now, which is giving which class you are getting the maximum error? See, in acceptable, the class error is 0.02, fine. Here it is 32, 32% error. Maximum error is coming from the good class. It is not able to classify properly, right? Here it is 0.01 and here it is 25%. So maximum error is for your good and very good class. Understood? So this is the maximum error which you are getting for this. They are getting, the model is getting confused. Now, if you want to see the attributes, okay, in the random forest classifier which are being used, okay, so null, and that you can check using the attributes and then your matrix, right? So you can see the attributes RF and random forest, you can see confusion. Okay, so this function, okay, attributes right now you are not able to see on based on which attributes it is getting splitted, but yes, we can always do the predictions here. Okay, so using this dollar sign, you can perform the attribute checking. So any attribute, if you want any attribute can be checked using the dollar sign and the attribute name. So let's say your attribute is RF and your attribute you are saying maintenance. I don't think the okay. We will check it. Fine. So let us go for the predictions first. When we have got the accuracy, there are other functions using which you can check the attributes, or better we can go for a plot. Okay, that will be better. So now if you want to do the predictions, of course you have to include the library caret. Okay, that is used for the predictions. So let us include the library caret. Fine, done. Now let's perform prediction and see how it is my model is performing. Let's say predict RF, that is the model RF model on the training data. Now I am checking the accuracy for the predictions for the training data. Okay, so let's see. Right now let us if I don't want to see all of them, let's see, I want to see only few of them, we will do head. Okay, so for the third is unacceptable, fourth is it is giving you some values, right? Okay, what it has predicted, but it is very difficult to understand the predictions here, right, with so much of data. So let is better that if I can create a confusion matrix, right, of RF predict versus train data of the car class. So if I use this function, it will give me all the statistical analysis value, right? So this is the reference actual value and these are the predicted values. So 282 are actually acceptable and predicted. Now error in this case. Very good performance it is doing. Okay, so 46 here, 87, 870. Only one error here, it is getting misclassified. So that is the only problem. Otherwise 43. So how much is the accuracy? You can see 99.9% accuracy you are getting, which is excellent, right? Which is very, very good. So P value is very, very less. Okay, that kappa value is this. So you can see the sensitivity, all the statistical analysis are being given here. Understood? So you can analyze these all statistical values. Now you can see the plot also here. Let us see the plot, okay, of the model. Let's see the plot. Zoom it and see it. Okay, so initially the model was having this is the plot of the number of trees and the error, right? Number of trees which has been created maximum is what, 500 here. Error had gone up to 0.6, right? So you can see initially the error was high and slowly then it dropped. The error rate dropped. Understood? So you can see after a constant time the error, there is no change in the error. You can see initially up to, let's say, 100. Okay, the error was there. Then after 100 trees, you can see it is almost flat. That means error was not too much, right? So that means what, after a number of trees, you can cut down, right? So, so you have seen that in at least after at least after 300, you can see the error has reduced a very reduced lot. So we can restrict the number of trees which are getting created in this way. Okay. So now if you want to see the histogram, let's see tree size in this model. So this is the histogram which you can see. Okay, so frequency and the tree size. So this tree size is going here above. So this is the histogram. So there are more than 100 trees having nodes more than 80 or something, right? So you can see this is the number of trees, tree size, okay, size of the tree which is being shown. So frequency. So you can see the more, so many trees, 120 trees almost have more than 80 nodes. So the number of nodes here are decreasing. So you can see the number of nodes in each type of tree. So you can even see the important plot, okay, variable important plot, okay, of the model. Fine. So you can see on this type of data also, right? The Gini value is there. Gini captures that how pure the nodes are at the end of the tree, because it goes on splitting, right? So it can have mixed value. So how pure your nodes are. So you can see here the person and the safety are the most important features. See 150 here. Okay, they are extremely important. And the least important, who are the least important? Least important is the number of doors, number of luggage. They are not so much important. Cost is okay, important, fine, cost and maintenance, but the persons and the safety. So that two major thing which we always try to find out when we are buying a car. So let's see the importance in the model, right? RF model. Let's see. So it is giving you the that same parameter, right? That graph which I just showed, it is in the tabular, in the numerical format. So you can see maximum importance is given to the persons and the safety, and least importance is of the number of doors. It does not matter, and the luggage space, okay, and cost and maintenance are after that, right? So these are the different functions by which you can always see the model. So to find out which variables have been used how many times, that also you can see which one I just left that time. Okay, so if you want to see which variables are being used, sorry, variables used, RF model, attributes or variables, right? So the first one has been used 764 times. Second one has, second variable was your maintenance, right? 8279 times, 8036. So these are the different numbers of times the variables were used, right? So the first one is your cost. So cost is being used 7364 times. Maintenance has been used 8279 times. Doors. Then this is for the persons, this is for the luggage, and this is for the safety. Okay. So I hope you understood how you can perform the random forest classifier. So many trees are being created, right? And what you can do is here is that if you want to still fine tune the, see, the model is giving, as of now it is giving us good results. So even if you want to fine tune, you can of course change your parameters. Of course you can change the training and the testing data ratios. You can change the number. You can, now when you are knowing that which importance are primary, which variables are primarily contributing, right? Persons, luggage, safety, cost and maintenance, then you can recreate the model based on only those parameters also. Fine. So I hope you understood this. So in my next video, I will try to demonstrate you the random forest classifier for a regression problem where your output is a numeric output. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe to CSE Core Concepts. Thank you.